Welcome back to today's Explainer. We're digging into something absolutely fundamental today, the true anatomy of persistence. Why is it that some people can push through when things get incredibly difficult, while others just walk away? We're going to break down exactly why successful people never give up. It's a fascinating journey, so let's get right into it. Okay, let's dive into this. Every successful person started as a beginner. It's so easy to look at people who have totally mastered their craft and just assume they were somehow born at the summit. But that's just not true. Everyone, literally everyone, starts at the exact same place, the very bottom. Imagine just standing there, looking way, way up at this massive towering peak called success. It's super intimidating, right? But realizing that every single person who has ever made it to the top stood in that exact same spot, well, that's the ultimate equalizer.
Phase 1, starting the impossible climb.
Let's think about how this journey actually plays out across a timeline. On day 1, you're standing at the base of this giant mountain, and honestly, the sheer scale of it makes it look totally impossible. You're probably looking up, completely surprised by what lies ahead. But then, fast forward to day 10, and something magical happens. You take that first step. You follow that glowing upward arrow, and you've got this great initial burst of motivation. But then we hit day 30. The first fall. The excitement wears off, friction sets in, and you stumble. And this timeline is just so crucial to understand because it proves that taking action isn't some perfect, smooth line upward. It's a bumpy, unpredictable ride right out of the gate.
Which leads us right into phase 2, embracing inevitable failure. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that this is the ultimate fork in the road. Remember that painful fall we just talked about, tumbling backward with all your hopes packed into a tiny backpack? Well, failure isn't just a possibility here. It's an absolute inevitability. It hurts, it's discouraging, and this is exactly where we see what most people do. They just turn their backs and walk away. They quit. And hey, we've all wanted to walk away at some point, for sure. But look at the successful people. They pick themselves back up, and they continue moving. They don't have magical powers. They just simply refuse to stop climbing. That brings us to phase 3, the 1% rule. So how do they keep moving without just repeating the same brutal mistakes? They actually extract the lesson from the failure. They take notes because small improvements create big changes. Think of it kind of like patiently watering a tiny plant. You can't just dump a gallon of water on a seed and expect a giant oak tree to burst out of the ground instantly. No way! It requires a few drops every single day over a long period of time. The growth might be invisible at first, but those tiny, consistent actions, they fundamentally alter the future. Just 1%? I mean, it sounds almost insignificant, doesn't it? But a 1% improvement every day truly matters. When you look at the chart of that progress, it's not a straight line from day 1. It starts slow, almost flat. But as that 1% compounds on top of the previous day's 1%, boom, the line begins to curve sharply upward. It's literally the mathematical proof of persistence. You don't need to be twice as good tomorrow. You just need to be 1% better. So, the crucial point is moving into phase 4, building unbreakable habits. Let's break down how you actually execute that 1% into a concrete blueprint. First off, you have to value your time as your greatest investment. Picture yourself sitting by a massive, ticking clock, deeply focused on reading. To protect that time, you've got to throw away the mobile phone distractions. Just literally toss the device aside. With that renewed focus, aim your arrow directly at specific, measurable targets. Build that foundation. Exercise, read, study. Keep the body and the mind sharp. If you do this, you're essentially building a staircase made entirely out of books. You're ensuring that you never, ever stop learning. And the ultimate result of this relentless cycle? Every single day makes them stronger. They aren't that overwhelmed beginner at the base of the mountain anymore. They are visibly more confident, climbing ever higher. The journey comes full circle. And it's not because the mountain somehow got smaller, it's because the climber became stronger. Which brings us to the end of today's Explainer, and I want to leave you with this question. What is your personal mountain? And what first step will you take today? We all have one, right? Maybe it's starting a business, getting fit, writing a book. Whatever it is, the blueprint is right here in front of you. Expect the fall, embrace that 1%, and start building those stairs. I really want you to think about this today. What's your first step going to be? Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll catch you in the next Explainer.